right, we'll see how this goes. A little nervous.
Got this, brother.
So today is going to be really fun. I bought a boat about a year ago, and it finally showed up. Little Session Plus. I'm super excited because I just always wanted to paddle these. But first, I'm going to put real outfitting in it. That is the Session Plus. That is an 8-foot Axiom. So this thing, plus, dude, it is huge. But it also seems, that's foot room, but slicey. So let's see. Maybe this is like a sleeper, big guy, awesome ride. That's certainly what I've heard. For starters, we are going to rip all of this out. We're going to convert the old style to a 2-bolt because that makes these much, much stronger and they last a lot longer. Only 1 bolt and no washer on it. This just wants to be pulled through and destroyed. And I kind of wonder if that's why there just aren't more of these in existence still. Oh, maybe I'll upgrade the hardpoint too. Let's get to it. So, swapped over to a badass system. Full kit. Not bad. And I did a separate video, which I'll link right up here, on how to do that to basically any whitewater boat. And I took those really puny grab handles and gave myself something a little more sturdy. I actually tried an entire assortment of different ones from Dagger and Wavesport and Logic, and nothing really fit. But that still gives me more confidence than that little bit of metal. Yeah. Now, along the way, I noticed somebody has been in here before. I see the mark of the bastard. So these things are going to seriously screw up the seal of my skirt. So I have to put in stock hardware, which thankfully I do have. But I'm kind of thinking I have a stack of different Piranha hooks. I don't know what happened to the Logic hooks that went to that kit. Anyway, what I could do is I could try doing Piranhas in here. I kind of need a little bit more room in the thighs anyway to be super comfy, so let's give it a shot. Holy cow. Well, that's why that was there. I would say somebody ripped me off. Still, I'll stack washers and make something thinner than that. Holy cow. Well, there was enough damage there. I decided to leave the originals in, fix this properly, and silicone it tight, and gave myself a little additional toys on the inside by way of outfitting. So one thing I really didn't like about this boat was at any point in time, you could take a good yank on the pillar, and it would just rip out. There was absolutely nothing securing it. So what I did was I drilled through here and here, and I put in one of those Piranha style, hang on. So one of these, I put in a piece of threaded plastic rod with the end caps that hold the Piranha front pillars together. It's not my favorite solution, but it is a lot better than knowing in a hole or just whatever. Can't even really hold on to it walking down the trail. Problem solved. That's it. Let's go to the river.
All right, first run in the new Session Plus that we did. See how she does. Woo! That is a little sporty, boys. That is sporty. I'm gonna have to slide back.
So the other week when I made that how to buy boats online video for advanced paddlers, one of the boats I touched on was the Session Plus. And I told a quick anecdote about my experiences in this boat. And, I stand by it, but I wanted to kind of expand upon it. I had all this footage sitting on the drive. I had shot it on a max lens, which I didn't really like, so I never posted it. But what the hell? I've owned the Session now for about 2 years, and although I never posted any of this footage, it's a boat that I like to pull out and play around with. This era of Liquidlogic must be some of the boxiest things ever marketed as kayaks produced. It's crazy. From these really early boats through to the end of the Sessions, the Ronins, all of that. It wasn't until a Biscuit that Logic sort of made a playboat that wasn't boxy and square. That is sort of good and sort of bad. So what you get out of this boat is a lot of confidence-inspiring volume all around you. It is very kind of predictable in the way it does certain things, but that's the volume aspect of what's nice. What fights against you nonstop is that it's a box, and that means it has some really wonky edges. Now, on top of that, it is super winged out. So this was clearly a boat that was supposed to just like snatch your imagination, and to this day, it grabs a piece of my soul, and I just want to mess with it every time I see it. But the downside is you're kind of trading some things. So it is not the most comfortable. The bow doesn't really have, I mean, it's not even rocker. The angle, the pitch of the bow is really low. The stern almost mirrors it. It's hard to even call it rocker because it's literally just, you could put a protractor to it. The result is something which can be very predictable going straight. It's very fast because it's so long, but when something side loads it on the chine, it's gone. It just takes off. It has a mind of its own. It can just get loaded sideways. There's not much you can do about it. The other aspect of that is even if you're not super heavy in it, which it would honestly be kind of hard to be super heavy in this, but it'd be very easy to be too tall for it, you're always managing the bow. You don't ever get to like just relax and paddle. You're always sort of terrified of it purling out. That's the bad. The stern is fantastic. Personally, when we paddled this year with kind of the mindset of, okay, the firecracker's coming, the walk-a boat in that genre is coming. I went out, I paddled the Honcho, the Showdown, all those old boats that were in that vein, and then I paddled the Session Plus. And I just kept saying, you know, if you just took any of their creek boats, I mean, definitely now the RMX, and put that bow on here and then welded the Session Plus stern on, you'd have a really fun, really playful boat. It's quick, it's reliable, rock bounces well, but it always just comes back to this errand bow, man. That treacherousness more than playfulness is, to me, the defining factor of the Session. I like bringing it out when I want a boat to like stab me in the back, when the day would otherwise be boring, you know, kind of like low water. Maybe there's a line that has gotten too easy. You know, compared to some other half slices, this boat just keeps me on my toes. I don't trust it. I have to constantly be minding it and forcing everything through. That makes what would otherwise be an easy, boring day where I just don't really know what to take that's going to be fun, a no-brainer. I'm going to take my Session Plus, and I am going to just see what I can do. I'm going to challenge myself in this boat, and it makes it a really sweet ride for what you pay for them. What are the other things I think about when I think about these boats? Well, the outfitting is great for the period in time. You have, you know, one weak spot though, which actually came to light in this boat, which is the thigh hooks bolting through the bottom of the cockpit rim. Not a fan of this. I don't like these horizontal bolts. You know, I've seen beginners swim out of the creek boats and rip these things completely out. This is a system that's only today used by Logic and Piranha, and it's just not my favorite. I wish this would just go away and it would bolt in other ways. The other major disadvantage to bolting this way is, as I stated when I was building the boat out, it makes it very hard to get a super dry skirt seal. no matter what you do, there's going to be a bridge right there from one bolt to the other that it's just going to let water in. Now, obviously, this was made to be a total cartwheeling machine. So does it live up to that? That's what you really want to know, right? Well, yes, it cartwheels great. It has amazing balance on the stern and on the bow just because it's so predictable. But, the thing that really adds to the treachery of the Session Plus is that it doesn't look like it, but when you sit on it, it's as if the entire boat is balancing on a 2x4, going from the bow to the stern down the center. It just is tippy. I mean, even for a whitewater boat, it is just tippy because, it was supposed to be comfortable on your secondary to cartwheel around. Well, it's super comfortable on the secondary if you're in control, but it's not always comfortable on the primary. So, again, I just love this boat because it's always trying to stab me in the back. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I hope I didn't offend anybody. This is just one of those boats where I own 2 of them. I would buy one again if one came along. I love putting people in it. I love paddling it when the conditions are right and you otherwise just aren't really sure what to do with yourself. By far, both this and the Mr. Clean, 2 of the cheapest, most durable beater half slices. You are going to get your money's worth in days on the water, if nothing else, when you buy one of these things. The odds are that you're going to be able to get one cheap. You're going to be able to enjoy it. And if it's not for you, you're going to be able to offload it and get most of your money back, if not all. So in the used market, these are still great buys. They're great to hang on to. But, man, they are something else. I'll see you on the next one, guys.